So, on today's on today's episode of CP Warrior, I've got a nice young lady with me by the name of Leonie, who I actually know through church. So she's going to be explaining how the lockdown has affected her faith um in God, whether it's made her faith stronger or weaker. She's also going to explain how the lockdown has affected her mental health, or if it has affected her mental health. And she's also going to be talking about how it's affected her job opportunity, or if it has affected her job opportunity. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Leonie.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting me to come on your podcast.
No problem. So yeah, I guess we should just dive in. So the first question I would like to ask is, has this lockdown affected your faith in Christ? Like, has it made it stronger? Has it made it weaker?
I would say this lockdown has made my faith stronger because I've had to rely on my own relationship with God more. And what I mean by that is because church is closed and we've only got online church, I can't go to church and discuss with other people my things that are going on, or my faith, or what God would think of certain things. So I've had to pray more, and I've had to use Bible apps, so to have readings and actually connect with God myself. So I would say
Okay.
that it's actually strengthened my faith, and it makes you realize that we're not in control. We're so not in
Yes.
control. So you have to rely on God, because we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. So yeah.
So like in terms of like, cause you just pictured like, before the lockdown we were obviously not meeting face to face and going to church and mingling with people. Has that like affected you, like the less like not mingling with people that you're used to? Has that affected you in any kind of way?
I would say it's definitely affected me. I think it's lonely. Lockdown's lonely. Like I have a house, I'm living in a house share, but from like 9 to 5, I'm just sitting in the kitchen by myself. So I'll talk about work later, but I usually work in an
Yeah,
office. But at the moment, I'm just by myself, and we don't have the interaction with other churchgoers as well on a Sunday or on a
yeah.
Wednesday small group. So yeah, it's definitely affected me. Yeah, I miss being able to hug my friends.
I know. I'm like, where's Leonie gone? Yeah. Yeah. So that actually, goes leads quite swiftly onto the next question, which is has this lockdown affected your mental health in any aspect?
Not in a drastic way, I would say. Like I'm still doing things to make sure like my mental health is taken care of. So
Yeah.
having a regular routine, getting up at a decent time, having a shower, then having a separate space between where I work and where I'm not working, going for
Yeah.
walks, getting out of the house. So I'm doing things like consciously to make sure my mental health is maintained. Like I haven't been exercising as much, but that's important for mental health as well. So
Yeah.
every now and
Yeah.
again I'll go for a run, but it's not as when the gym was open, I'll be going pretty much every day.
Yeah.
So that aspect has challenged me. But yeah, I'm lucky that it hasn't affected my mental health drastically.
Yeah, I mean, again, as you know, I'm someone that when the gym was open, I was going like practically every day or every other day, and now I mean, if it wasn't for like online Zumba, I'd be like, I'd be lost. So yeah, in terms of your work, has that ever like obviously like you know you work in a big well I'm assuming it's a big building and you work with lots of different people. So how has again the lockdown affected your like workspace and
Yeah, so just before Boris announced lockdown in March, my office is actually closed because it's a scientific organization. So they
okay,
have links with scientists like Sage and so forth. So they
yeah,
actually instructed us that it would be best to close the building earlier than
okay,
the national lockdown. So
okay,
since then, I've been working from home, which at the beginning was a challenge to manage my hours because you're
yeah,
just at home. It's so easy
yeah,
just to stay working till 7 8 p.m. But now
yeah,
I've got it more in control, that I'm working the regular hours and taking breaks. One thing that's good is I now take a full hour lunch break, which I didn't used to do when I was in the
okay,
office, because there was
okay,
nothing else to do in the office apart from just have lunch and then go back to work.
yeah, yeah,
Now I might watch a bit of TV or have a quick nap or something like that just in my lunch
yeah,
break. So yeah, that's how work has changed. It also, I've been applying for new roles as well. So even
okay,
though lockdown is in effect, my organization has been advertising other roles. So I've been applying for them. I haven't heard back anything yet, but
okay.
fingers crossed, soon
Fingers
I'll be
crossed.
able to get a promotion, hopefully.
Hopefully. And yeah, so like in terms of again your work, like has any of your colleagues or managers like have they like called to check up on you to make sure that you're doing okay, not just with the work, but like, you know,
Um,
yeah,
so I would say a mixture of yes and no. So we would have like one-to-ones and meetings to talk about work, but
yeah,
there's one manager who will check up on me and ask me how am I doing, and if I just say, oh yeah, I'm okay, she's like, are you really okay? So things like that I really appreciate that she does. But other than that, it's mostly we just talk about work unless we've got something that we want to bring up.
okay,
So we have lots of Microsoft Teams meetings, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we have something called Fun Fact Friday, which is like a
Oh, okay,
quiz that we do on a Friday afternoon, which hasn't
okay,
happened for the last few weeks. So I'm going to try and resurrect it, and we'll make it like we play games or something for 15 minutes on a Friday afternoon, just so we have that
okay,
social connection. So I'll try and do that, and hopefully people are interested. So yeah.
yeah. So, for anyone that is struggling in terms of their faith, especially during lockdown, what would your advice be to them?
I would say try and connect with people like online. There's so all churches are doing an online offering. I haven't heard of one church that's not. So don't just watch the YouTube stream or whatever it may be. Try and contact
Yeah,
someone so you can discuss things. If you're struggling with your faith by yourself, it's not a good place to be. To be able to
yeah,
like discuss things, or if you can start an alpha course or something like that, or just read the Bible. Just, yeah, it doesn't matter where you start, just get your head in the Bible and see how things go from there.
okay. And um, again, for anyone, particularly women, for any women that are struggling with their mental health during this lockdown, what would your advice be to them?
Specifically for women,
Or for anyone in general, boy. Yeah.
um, if you're struggling, with your mental health. I would say get help. And this might be for men more than women because men don't
Yeah,
talk about things as much as
yeah,
women do. So if you're struggling, speak about it as soon as possible and get help. Like Mind is a really good resource online, and I think they have I'm not sure about this, but they might have like a telephone line or the Samaritans, but
yeah.
like things like that. There's so much help out there and so much information. Just try and reach out and do those things.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Leonie, for agreeing to do this interview. I know it
My
was
pleasure.
a last of us, you know, spur of a moment thing, and I was like, oh my god, but yeah, yeah, thank you, thank you for agreeing to do this interview, and yep,
My
um,
pleasure. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.